part 2 of Storing Your Mustang. If you haven't seen part 1, go take a look at it. There's some great tips there. I'll have it linked on my end screen. In part 2, I'm going to cover off the remaining steps that I normally take to store the Mustang for the winter. So there's quite a few steps to go, so let's get started. In part 1, I already did the oil change, so the next step I'm going to do is change the wheels. I have an extra set of winter storage wheels. That avoids any flat spots, the rubber from cracking, or any chrome from flaking. Especially the soft compound drag radials, they do not like the cold. If you don't have that option, I would highly recommend you put some sort of barrier brake there, i.e. 1-inch styrofoam, even cardboard with carpet and some plywood, even that will work. Pump your wheels up as hard as possible. Push at least 50 pounds into them. Keep them nice and hard, and that'll help avoid any rounding. So that's the next step. So I got the wheels swapped. I should have mentioned in my case, with the Cobra being so low, I actually have to use 2 jacks. Initially a little small one to raise the car up a bit so I can get my bigger floor jack underneath onto the subframe connectors and completely raise it back up. Also, anyone new to the Mustang scene or just in general to switching tires, it's always easiest to crack the lug nuts with a breaker bar, or also referred to as a Johnson bar. Now I'm just going to fill the tires completely up. Even though they're my storage wheels, I'm still going to push 50 pounds into them, make them nice and hard, and that should hold the air for the winter season. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is vacuum the car. I'm going to get my boy to jump in here. He's going to give us a hand. That's my little boy. Let's see, he's little. So while he vacuums, I'm going to speed wax, polish the windows, clean the top, etc., just to keep things moving. Okay, now that the car is parked in its spot, the next step I'm going to do is remove the battery. I know a lot of guys like using a battery tender through the winter months. I prefer to remove the battery and have no current going through the car. One of the advantages of that is that minimizes any chance of a fire starting. It doesn't take much. Squirrels, little rodents get in there, they can nibble on some wiring and cause a spark. Next thing you know, your car's on fire. So personal preference, gonna remove the battery. That's how I do it. All right, so we got the battery out. I'm gonna throw it on a tender, give it a full charge, and then I'm gonna bring it inside the house. And then through the winter months, I'll throw it on a battery charger once a month, just to make sure it stays nice and topped up. So the last couple little things I'm going to do is a couple bounce sheets inside the car, one on each side, and also to prevent any mice from jumping in the exhaust and making a house in the motor, is I'm going to shove some oily rags, and then on the outside of the oily rags some steel wool. Here's a closer look at the tailpipe stuff with the oily rag and the steel wool. That will definitely keep the mice out. Last step we're going to do is throw on the car cover. All right, stretch it out. Okay, cool. Just fold the mirrors in. Fold the mirrors in? Yeah, they fold in. Right over the block, everything. Good. Okay, we're good, right? All right, there you have it. That's the complete process. Just to recap everything, started with oil change, put the winter storage wheels on, vacuumed the car, speed waxed it, polished the windows, cleaned the top, we pulled the battery, threw in a couple balance sheets, stuffed the tailpipes, and we covered it up. So hope you guys enjoyed that winter prep, and don't forget to like, add any comments, subscribe to the channel, and of course thanks for watching.